And we are very thankful to have one of the top real estate moguls of Northern Virginia with us, who is also in the book, and we appreciate her. Sarah, please come up. Sarah G.
Hi, everyone. So I just found out I was speaking 2 minutes ago, so. But then they looked back and said, you do this for a living, you're fine. So I remember about, probably 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago, I was sitting at I think it was a Greek or Italian restaurant in Vienna. We had just done the March for Life, and we had a group of church members, and my dad was taking me out for a one-on-one meeting with his teenage daughter. And he looked at me and he said, Sarah, you're going to lead people. I don't know which direction yet, to heaven or to hell, but I know you're going to lead people. And that has been true. Thankfully, it's been to heaven. I started in the real estate industry at 22 years old, which is a young realtor, helping people with their largest investment. Thankfully, my mom helped me learn it and things like that. But I have a team now of many young people and many millennials, and I am a millennial. But 1 Timothy 4:12 says that let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, and in purity. And when you talk about work, there's not really a verse that can apply if you look at what we do at work. So we're talking to people around us. We're in many conversations at work typically. Many times charity is not only at home, but in your work. There are so many opportunities for us to give back to those that are in our work. And I was blessed by getting into the industry at such a young age and started as a young realtor, and what turned into something that was just a passion with helping people buy and sell homes turned into a passion of leadership. And God has opened many doors for me to lead now the number one team in the DC metro market, real estate team. And through that, he has just really guided me in learning leadership and studying leadership and helping an industry. The industry that I'm in has a 95% fail rate. So the realtors that get their license today, only 5% of them will still be in the industry in 2 years. So it's a messed up sort of industry, but God put me in a place to lead, and I'm a big believer in leading by example and letting the Spirit of God speak through me to my team. I have a team of believers, I have a team of non-believers, so making sure that I'm an example to them. And it's just been a huge blessing. I prayed that if God gave me an opportunity to speak, that I would use the opportunity to really share his word and share what God has taught me. Just this past year, I was able to speak in front of 10,000 people about leading a real estate team and just about how one of my passions and why our industry is so messed up is that it's the one industry that they expect you to have all strengths. So meaning, like, you get your real estate license, you have to be good at details, but then you have to be good at people, with people. Typically, those two don't go together, okay? And so Romans 12:4-5 talks about how the body of Christ is made up and how we all have different gifts. So I was able to speak about that. But really, I think I'm in the section on balance. And so, which is awesome, because one of the things why I was motivated to build a team was because for many years I would come to church and I would rush out of here. People here would be wanting to talk, say hello, and I had to go do an open house. That's how realtors' lives were, and I always felt like I was giving God half of me when I was here. And I prayed that God would surround me with a team so that I could focus on him on the weekends and focus on my family. And thankfully, he did that. So I think I talked about that in the book. I'm not sure. But the last thing I'm going to say is I am so passionate about God cares about, if you're a business owner or your work, God cares about your work and God cares about your business. And I see this every day, time and time again. I will pray for God to bring the right team members to us, and then all of a sudden, He does. Time and time and time again, I see Him in our business, and I know that you guys see Him in your work. And just keep doing what you guys are doing, those that were in the book, and then all those here, and I know God's going to bless you.